Hey, what's up, Silver Stackers? Thanks so much for being here. This is Silver Slayer. Is silver a good buy in July? Well, this is a critical month because usually silver's bearish in July. But if we break below this $20 support level and go into the $18, $19 range, I think things are going to get extremely messy simply because just seeing the number 19 compared to 20 makes a big difference. The psychological effect, just like why stores mark something as 19.99 instead of $20, because even that 1 penny just makes it look so much cheaper. And if people see the price at 19 something, they're going to panic and usually panic sell, right? Goes into oversold territory. It's going to go from 19 down to 17 pretty quick. And this article talks a little bit about what the Federal Reserve will be doing over the next month and also where silver could lead. Now, I think this is a great entry point. I always think if you're going to get silver in the $20 range, even, high $20 range, it's a good entry point since I understand silver's true value, and I'm sure you do as well. But I still want to cover this, and I would love for you to throw in your comments as well. I love when you all participate. So, link to this article will be in the description. Is silver a good buy in July 2022? Silver remains under pressure. The demand for the dollar continues to grow, and the appreciation of the US dollar negatively influences silver. However, we're going to dig a little deeper into this article and explain why this third bullet point might actually be bullish for silver. So silver extended its correction from its recent highs above $26, and we could see even lower prices in the weeks ahead if the US dollar remains strong. See, the demand for the dollar continues to grow as the Federal Reserve continues to hike rates in an effort to stem soaring inflation. We're trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt. And that business model doesn't work. The appreciation of the US dollar negatively influences silver. The US Federal Reserve switched to a more hawkish tone, which positively influenced the US dollar. There's a direct negative correlation to the dollar index and silver. When the dollar index is high, gold and silver is low, and vice versa. Now we know that the dollar is collapsing, lost 98% of its purchasing power, $30 trillion in debt. We know the dollar's collapsing. So if there's a direct negative correlation to the dollar index and silver, then 1 + 1 = 2. The dollar is collapsing, which means gold and silver would be going up. I mean, there's a lot more to the story than that, but just from a fundamental perspective at that point itself shows why you should be putting your money into silver and not leaving it in anything pegged to the dollar. So the US Federal Reserve decided to lift the funds rate by 75 basis points this month, which is the largest hike since 1994. And the price of silver continues to be under pressure as the Fed is strongly committed to fighting inflation. Gold and silver are considered a hedge against inflation, and the prices of these precious metals usually benefit during economic uncertainties. But rising interest rates increase the opportunity cost of holding the asset since it yields no interest. And that's the sad part is, most people that get into precious metals, they look at it from the wrong point of view. They only get into precious metals when times are very, very, very bad. But why does it have to be that for you to get into something that holds its value? Regardless if the economy's in good or bad shape, you should be preserving your wealth into something that has intrinsical value. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe just because we're silver stackers, we see it from this side of the tracks and we look at it more fundamentally and I guess logistically, but it's crazy. And then as soon as the economy starts to recover, the dollar strengthens, they'll take that, their portfolio or their precious metals right back into stocks. So anyway, St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank President James Bullard said that he would like to see the federal funds rate closer to 3.5% by the end of 2022, and for now, the focus of investors remains on the US dollar. On the other side, if the US Federal Reserve continues to act too aggressively, this could potentially move the economy towards a recession. And that's what I was talking about. This is the part that that I don't want to get. I don't want to. What's the word I'm looking for? Be too over dramatic or be fear mongering. That's the word. You know, I don't want to. I don't want to be pushing this catastrophic doomsday, bust out your tinfoil hats. You know, that type of mindset on my channel. I don't even want my channel to be a political channel. I don't care if you're left, right, up, down, front, center, sideways. I'm talking about investing, and since we're talking about investing, we have to look at what's happening in the economy because that's what affects the assets that we're investing in. So I just want to look at it, you know, strategically, realistically from an investing perspective. We know that things are bad. We know that they're going to get worse. Since we know that, then we might as well be preparing ourselves. We know the dollar is going to collapse. It's not if, but it's when. And given the information, it's going to happen sooner than later. A lot of people are saying that we're just theorizing, speculating, you know, reaching, but those people are the ones that are, I guess, in the most danger because they're not prepared whatsoever. You know, even if things do hold off for another decade or two, at least we'll be prepared, and by that time we'll be extremely prepared. You know, it just doesn't make sense why people put their trust in this. And luckily, it does seem like, especially from the global situation, people are becoming more aware. But at the end of the day, you're always going to have those people that don't want to admit the truth or can't acknowledge it, because that would just strip away their entire way of believing in their life. You know, people believe the news, believe the government, think banks are, you know, okay. And we know that's not all the truth. I guess most silver stackers do. And that's funny. You know, and that just brings me to another point. Silver stackers are almost like the rebels. We're almost like rebellious because we go against the grain since silver goes against the dollar. I do feel like we're the ones that, and even more so than gold, I feel like we're the ones that see things for as they are the most. We expose the truth the most. And that's why I've talked about in the past, you know, silver stacking channels potentially getting banned on YouTube or silenced or blacklisted. I know some of my videos have gotten shadow banned before, where they're cut out of the YouTube algorithm and only people that can see them have a direct link. And I do think that since we expose so much, that it could bite us in the butt in terms of you know, our reach, because I'm trying to reach the person that's never invested a single dollar in their entire life. I want to reach that person, and I do get emails all the time from people saying, hey, you know, I found your video and now I'm a silver stacker. You know, that means my job is done. But anyways, you know, this is all going to be relevant for everyone at some point in time. Right now it is for us. We're just before the curve. So in the short term, the outlook for safe haven assets is mixed, as there is great uncertainty this summer, with chances of a more aggressive Federal Reserve on one side and recession risks on the other. Bears control the price action. Silver price has weakened from $26 to $20 since March 2022. And the current price stands at $20.76. If it breaks below $20, man, I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of support though. A lot of support around here. And if you guys don't know about charts, support is what it's trying to stay above, and resistance is what it's trying to break above. If it breaks below the support, it's going, you see right there, it was trying to get that support. It broke below and it dips a lot. See, dips a lot, dips a lot. If it breaks below the support, it's going to get bad. If it breaks above the resistance, it usually goes into overbought territory and it spikes up pretty high. So it's trying to break above the resistance but stay above the support. Overbought territory though, when it gets up high, and that's why it has to correct down a little bit for it to go even higher, or there's no price stability. But if it breaks below the support, that's oversold territory, and that's going to correct as well. And that's why when the price is doing extremely well, you got to be careful. When the price is crashing, you got to be careful, because usually that won't last for long. And that's why when people are panic selling, I'm telling you, it's going to correct back up. Or when people are, making crazy decisions when the price is exploding, it's going to come back down. So anyways, the important level is that it stands at 20, and if the price falls below this support, it would be a firm sell signal, like I was just saying, which is crazy. It should be the buy signal. The next price target could be around $18 or even below. On the other side, if the price jumps above 23, it would be a signal to trade silver, have an opportunity at 24, right? If the price gets higher, then that means we buy it. But if the price gets lower, that means we sell it. Let's buy high and sell low. That is literally the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to buy low, sell high, not buy high, sell low. Buy the dips, sell the tops. That's investing 101, the most basic level elementary school form of knowledge as a way to make profit. I mean, it's crazy. And that's the emotional sentiment in investing. And that's why I try to tell people, invest with your head, not your heart. Invest with your head, not your heart. So anyways, yeah, what do you think about this? Do you think that the United States US dollar index is going to, all these rate hikes and this is just the entire situation, I guess. In the next, I don't want to put too far out. We'll say in the next 3 months, do you think that the dollar will be at a place that could be bearish for precious metals, or do you think, like the one right here, where this statement says, if they continue to act too aggressively, this could push the economy towards a recession, which would be bullish? I mean, let me know. I mean, it's either or. Right now, I feel like it's leaning more towards acting too aggressively, just because there's so many other situations going on that is almost forcing them into a corner, similar to when the election was, and whether candidate A, B, or C was going to win. They had to throw out that $1 trillion stimulus word. If they weren't throwing out $1 trillion stimulus, they weren't going to get elected. They weren't going to get any votes. So they had to say that. We didn't have that money to give out, but we had to. We'll deal with that later. Yes, you get a quick $700 paycheck, but at what cost? You know, it's one of those situations where you have no choice, and I couldn't imagine trying to manage something that's so unmanageable, right? Trying to manage the financial system of the Federal Reserve, man, that's a lose-lose situation. We're way too deep in the hole to find a solution. There's only an alternative, and that alternative is precious metals. The only solution would be to reset the system entirely and not make it designed off of a dollar that's backed by nothing. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Hopefully you subscribe if you stuck around this long, if you like my content, like what I talk about. I talk about lots of different things, from not only just silver from the dollar perspective, but the fundamentals of silver stacking. I talk about supply shortages, supply and demand. I cover stories, news, information daily. I have a website that posts probably 20 to 30 articles every day of every silver related thing that came out that day. So you can see here is the 30th. Today's the 30th. I'm recording this the previous day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 13 articles came out today. This is in a 3-day period, all these articles. And what I do is every day I wake up, I go through every one of these, and I find the best 2, sometimes 3 relevant articles, and I will share that with you guys. So if you're subscribed every day, you're going to get the newest, latest information, the most relevant stuff every single day. And that's what you'll get if you subscribe here, plus a lot of other stuff too. You know, I make a very wide variety of content. I want to take a second to give a shout out to my channel sponsor, BullionMax.com. I'm honored to be working with one of the best bullion dealers online. Great prices, great deals, and by far the best packaging out of any company that I've ever seen. They even offer a silver starter kit, which is 5 ounces of silver at below employee pricing, with extremely high premium coins for a great deal. It's only one per household, but a great way to lower your dollar per ounce average a bit and get a chance to grab some great coins. So shout out to Bullion Max, such a great company, always sending me silver to give away to my subscribers as well. BullionMax.com, and if you want the starter kit, go to BullionMax.com/SilverSlayer. And also make sure to go to AG47Apparel.com if you want to express your love for precious metals with the clothes on your back. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.